What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Today I can't go into too much detail on the video. I had this little group out here soaking up. Their cage was pretty dirty, so I went ahead and brought them out here, let them soak while I was cleaning the cage. All these are available except for this one. This one is sold now. This little one is available. It's a hypo. Hypo female. This is the one that was started off just hypo, turned trans. And it's starting to pick up a whole bunch of color. I thought it might paradox, but it didn't. I'm gonna hold on to her for probably one more shed and then let her go. You can still see that she's going into trans. Some of her lip is, you can still see the white on it, and then the other part is gummy. That's her going into, turning into a trans from just a hypo head trans. See those little white spots? That's where they're normal. That's what she was like before, all over. And slowly the translucent been taking over and making her look gummy in certain places. She picked up a bunch of color. I'm gonna take some updated pictures of her and probably let her go to one more shed, see if anything happens, and then put her up for sale. But this was my holdback from that. They sisters. You can see the difference in them. There's a female as well. Yeah, this one's getting shipped out. I believe Wednesday for Thursday delivery. I have 2 dragons going out that day. And then again, it's that hypo. I might update pictures of all these because they look a lot different than they did when I posted them on the website. Some of you can't even tell that they're the same animal. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually let me see if the female that I put in here is out. Oh yeah, she's over there in the corner. See her over there. She's not really used to the cage yet. Most dragons, when you take them outside, when they live indoors, they sometimes they like flare up, like they're angry. It's like a defense mechanism. Like as soon as they see the sun, they forget that they're tame. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. If you got bearded dragons and you take them outside, sometimes the whole demeanor change. They open their mouth, look like they're gonna bite you. But yeah, put her in there. It's a leatherback hybrid female. She's probably gonna lay eggs, but the father's gonna be Stitch again. So let's get back to these ones. gonna post a picture of what she looked like when I first got her, or when I posted her on the website, so you guys can see how much she changed. Picking a nice color. Super nice. I'm gonna do a quick overview on recessive genes. Recessive genes are genes that it takes 2 copies to create. I'm gonna go over recessive genes real quick. Recessive genes, it takes 2 copies to create. That means both parents has to carry the gene for them to produce offspring that shows the trait. But translucent is a recessive trait. Hypo is a recessive trait. Whiplet is a recessive trait. Zero is a recessive trait, and there's a recessive leatherback as well. But I'm not gonna really talk about the recessive leatherback at this moment because a lot of people don't know about it, and it's sometimes not even marked when people are selling them, what type of leatherback it is. It used to be a big deal back in the day. American leatherback, Italian leatherback, recessive leatherback. But most people just label as leatherback now without any other specifications. But we're gonna talk about translucent first. Translucent has 2 characteristics that are usually associated with it. The first being that the skin loses the white pigment. You see how the white patches are on there? That's how a normal dragon will look, with the white patches all over. But the translucent takes that white away and makes the skin look more gummy. And also associated is the dark eyes. They don't have to be solid black. It will produce the same type of babies that a solid black eyed dragon will produce. So if you have a trans gene, you treat it like a trans gene. You don't want to breed trans to trans. Head to head is the best results. Now that they've been outcrossed so much, you can do head to visual, but head to head is still best. And then the same for hypo. Hypo is a recessive gene. Take both parents to carry the gene to produce offspring that show the characteristic. If you breed 2 visuals together, you're gonna produce all visuals. But if you do that with a translucent, you're gonna run across deformities. Some of the babies would die at a young age for no reason. So we as a community kind of frown upon breeding trans to trans, zeros to zeros, whiplets to whiplets, because already the Pogona viticeps has been inbred for so long, even though it's different lines. As Australia cut off exportation so long ago that whatever we had in the U.S. was being bred back to one another to create. That's how all the genes pop up as well. But with these, all these genetics are pretty much deformities. Some of them are beautiful deformities, and some of them are detrimental to the bearded dragons. Like when translucent first came out, it was a very weak gene. It took years of selective breeding to outcross to get the gene strong. And with the genetics popping up, also deformities are popping up as well, because you bottlenecking at the traits. All the traits are stacking on one another, back to back to back to back to back to back. That's why a lot of people are going to the hybrids. They hybriding them to their cousins, the Pogona barbata, which is a little bit longer, has a little bit bigger head with a longer snout. The Pagona viticeps is a more short, compact, stout bearded dragon versus the Barbata. But yeah, zeros, Whitblits, and trans, you do not want to breed visual to visual or really visual to head. The best results is always going to be head to head. You're going to get stronger animals. You're not going to produce as many visuals, of course, but the visuals that you do produce are going to be stronger than they would if you were doing visual to visual. And of course, it's people that have been doing that has been breeding them and haven't had any problems, but that doesn't mean that the problem is not going to happen on the next try or the next try after that. Like I said, once you keep breeding the same thing over and over to one another, it compounds on all genetic features, both good and bad. So it's always best to outcross and breed head to head to make your visuals. That's why in a lot of my videos I talk to you guys about just buying the heads and making visuals, especially if you plan on breeding. If you plan on breeding, a head is more powerful than a visual if you want to make visuals. Because if you buy the visual, all you can do is make heads. If you buy the heads, you can make visuals and probable heads. So that's the way I go with most of my breeding. I do head to head, and I usually buy in. I buy in probably like buy five animals from one person just to get it at a lower rate, and then I pick the ones that I want, the faster growing. It's a fly keep landing on me. Sorry if I'm making weird noises. But where was I? Yeah, I buy about a group of 5, and I pick the ones that I want from that group, the ones that are growing the fastest, the ones that are getting the biggest, the best appetites, best demeanor. And I keep those animals and raise those ones up and use those for my breeding stock. And I, like with those Whitblits that I posted in a couple of videos, I bought that group. Most of them are nipped, but I got them at a lower rate because they were nipped. I chose the ones that I want to keep, and I got the other ones available. So they're pretty much going to pay for themselves and also give me the breeders that I need in the future to go to my lines. Because what I produced this year was all from the same father. So I'm going to need something across those babies too if I keep any of the babies. So that's what I think of when I'm breeding. I need to outcross. So I do need to purchase from other people. And to get the best deals, I buy heads. Heads are going to be less expensive than visuals. And if you get those heads and they have like little nips and stuff like that, they're even going to be less expensive. But they're still as powerful as a dragon that doesn't have any nips. So that's the way I like to do mine. You save money. And you can produce beautiful animals. So if you want to breed, keep in mind you can't do visual to visual, or you shouldn't do visual to visual. You can do it if you want to, but it's not recommended by any breeder to do visual to visual, especially on the new morphs like Whitblit, Zero, and stuff like that. Translucent, some people are doing it. I did it a couple times with no problems. And that's visual to head. And most of the time those when the heads are like possible heads. I'm just really wanting to prove it out, but the next time after proving it out, I'll do a head-to-head versus a visual. And again, that's the way I do it, or did it. If I had the choice, like if I wasn't buying or having 66% probable heads or possible 50% possible heads, I wouldn't. If I knew for sure the animal was carrying it, I wouldn't have did the breeding in those cases. It was a chance, and I knew it was a chance. But sometimes you look at the animal, sometimes you can see traits that give it away that it may carry the gene more likely than not. And then sometimes you don't see that. And I was breeding so much that I was getting to that point that I can like pretty much tell what was carrying what, but being correct most of the time. Like I noticed with het whitblits and any multiple het animal, like if it's like a quad het for trans whitblit, a lot of times those patterns are very busy and close together. Or with whitblits, the pattern is far apart and stretched out, like it's going into the patternless ways. I'm gonna talk to you guys about this stuff a little bit more detail. Probably get some diagrams and stuff, or draw it out so you guys can understand better than just me talking. Like I said, today was the first day of school. We didn't have much time to get a video done. Had to hurry up and feed and get these guys cleaned up. Their cage was real dirty, so I had to get these guys out. And since I had them out and I needed to make a video, I went ahead and chose to lightly speak about this topic. Proper breeding habits. So I'm gonna do a brief excuse me, need to drink some water. I'm gonna do a brief overview on breeding. If you're gonna be breeding and you want to do it the cheap way, or at least expensive way, you buy heads, buy 100% heads. Or if you want to save a little bit more, you can buy a bigger group of 66% probable heads, and then try to prove them out. So what I would do is probably buy a male that's 100% head for whatever morph you're trying to produce, and then the females I'll buy 66% probable head, and I'll buy about 4 or 5 of them. Raise those females up and take them all to the 100% head male, and then you see which ones prove out. The ones prove out you keep. The ones that don't prove out you sell, trade, or whatever you're gonna do with them. And that's the best route to go produce visuals in any of the morphs. Like I said, it takes 2 copies for all the recessive, so both parents have to carry the gene for any of the babies to carry the visual morph. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. Hope you guys got something from this video. I know it's rushed. I'm trying to get back in the groove, but a lot of stuff is going on. So once I get back in that groove, I'll sit down a little bit more and go into more detail on some of this stuff that you guys have been asking about. But alright, I'm going to end this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until the next video, you guys have a good one.